Happy Hootie, and today we are bringing you a new vacuum mop that we actually were given from Hizero to test out and see how it runs up against our Tineco that we have. So we're going to do some unboxing and let you know what we think. All right, so we have our Hizero. We are going to unbox it and see what this puppy's like. We got our user manual. It is all bagged up. Looks like our handle here. It's got our control functions on here that looks like some LED and the power button. And we have our main unit here. It does seem to go up and down quite a bit. All right, so to clean the top part and to see the waste compartment, there's this little button here you press and it opens this up. And inside here, it's got this little trash bin that will collect all of the actual material, and then all the liquid goes in the back to the dirty bins, which I'll show you in a minute. So that is in here. You also have a filter that's right here. So you've got a little mini filter, and they actually give you a few extra replacements for that as well. And then down in here, they have another little filter that whenever we clean it, it says you take the back side of this little brush and you push that out so you can pull that out and clean it as well. So don't lose your little roller brush, so you have that for later. I have this extra roller in here, and this is to grab all of the actual material, and it will then push it down into the dirty container. So that's what's inside the cover. On the back side here, we have our dirty water tank on the bottom. And this comes out, you just lift it out, and you can dump your things out and rinse it out. And then we just set that back down in here. And it just snaps back in place. You just hear that snap, you know it's in place. And then your top one is your clean water container. It says when you set it on normal, you can get about 10 minutes of use on this clean water. So if you set it on high, you get about 5 minutes. So to open it, you just lefty-loosey, you open it up, and you can use just water, but they actually included a cleaning solution in here to make sure the floors are clean. So we're gonna use that when we do it. But for now, we are just getting it charged. All right, so we have our brush roller. This is a polymer roller. According to the user guide, they say to look to replace it every 6 months, just kind of based on wear. We're gonna take this opening and get this out to the maximum degree, and we're just going to insert it in there. And it does take some force to get on there. And then we're going to slide it back in here. So we're gonna twist it a little bit to kind of get over this lip. If you twist it toward it, it goes in, and then this comes in, you push down, you have the extra force. Now the roller is in place and ready to go, and then whenever you push that, it'll pop it back out. Okay, and the top is the last piece. We just have to add that in here. We've got a flathead screw here. I'm gonna reach in here and just turn it just to kind of get it going. Once we get that out, I'm gonna add the handle in. And then we've got our little screw hole right here. We're just gonna put that in there, kind of get it tightened, and then I've got my screwdriver to get it fully secured. Now our last piece that is underneath this little container here is the charging base. The machine just sits down in here, and then your tools can be on these areas here. And your filters and things can just be stored right in the back so you know where they are. Now we're gonna go plug it in. We're gonna have his home right here next to our Tineco that we have as well. On the back of this guy is a charging port. So this is not a charging port, this is just a base for it to sit on. So they gave us a charging cord, and we are going to plug this in back here. Now we're gonna put our vacuum on this base, and I'm going to plug in this machine over here. We are at the process of trying to clean with this. We've got our Hizero cleaner here, lifted it behind, and I pulled out this polymer roller brush, and it says you have to soak it for 5 minutes. So I've got my sink here full of warm water, and I'm just gonna put my roller in it and let it soak. So we take this, fill up the little cap full, then I'm gonna dump that in here, and then fill the rest of it with some warm water. Our roller brush is now sat for the 5 minutes. And as you can see, it's all squishy now, so we're ready to go. I went ahead and squeezed out all the extra water. To add in the roller blade, you just lay the machine down, and we just pull out this little pivoting thing right here, And on this end that's opened up, we slide it in here. And we push it in. It is difficult to get put in because it's got these little dusters that are underneath here to help it collect the dirt. There is obviously a little bit of design issue with this because it is very hard to get in, to get the roller blade in, but once you get it in, it'll snap in and it's ready to go. So now we've got the roller in. This little part is clicked down for the dirty tank. We've got our clean tank ready to go. Let's see how it vacuums. For the testing, I actually just put some flour on the floor. This is just a tile grout floor, so you can kind of see, like as far as a kitchen, how it works. To make the actual machine pull back, you step on this part and pull the handle back, and then you hit the power button. It is a very quiet machine. It does have some resistance as you go through. But as you're picking it up, it is picking up all of that surface dirt, but it is not getting in the actual tile grouts, which is disappointing. It does have a certain kind of speed that it wants to go at, so when you're pulling on it to go faster, you can go faster. It doesn't seem like it likes it very much, but it will go faster. So we're going to go through and we'll do some of the floors here. Okay, I've got my Tineco out just to see how that compares as far as the flour that got stuck in the grout. So we are going to pull that back and see how it works. So the Tineco is able to pick that all up. It's picking up all of those little items on the floor, as you can see. One thing I have noticed, if you're going against the grains of like a hardwood or a tile, it seems to jump over those a little bit more because of that little duster underneath. But if you go with the actual grains of the flooring, then it runs fairly smoothly. And it just stopped on me. We had this red light go off and it warned me that the water tank was low. So now I've got to go empty out my water tank and clean it up and start back over. One really nice thing about this water tank is that it does separate out the dirty liquids. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to push this button and it is going to release this top part here. And there is our actual hard stuff that it's picked up. And you just lift that out and then you can go dump this in the trash can. The other thing you have to do when you clean it up is this little area collects hairs. So you have to either get a scissors or you'll have to pull out the hairs from this little roller. My overall opinion, we have a Tineco S5 Pro, which I'll put that video up in the corner so you guys can watch that review as well. There are goods and bads to both of them. I really like how this one separates out the liquids and the solids, so it's easier to clean up. With the Tineco, I have to go throw the stuff outside or flush it down the toilet, or it's a little bit more inconvenient. As far as the overall effectiveness, I like the Tineco better. The Tineco would never leave this on my grout. So if somebody had linoleum or just vinyl flooring, I think this would go over it a lot better. With my flooring, the way that it's so rough and edged, it's not getting in these grooves. So I don't feel like it's cleaning it as well as my Tineco does. The other thing that I really don't like is I have a pretty large house. So this little 10-minute tank for me to clean, I've got to stop 4 to 5 times to finish up my house. The Tineco will do my whole house. I can do it the entire time, water tank, and it's finished. So there is no stopping if I don't want to stop. The Tineco also has a self-cleaning option where it goes in and it cleans out all of the rollers, it cleans out the tank, it runs everything through. I just have to push the button. This one is super hard to load that roller blade. I have to push it and pull it and try to get it in there just right. The soaking of the roller for 5 minutes beforehand, that's time that when I'm ready to clean, I don't want to wait around. Hizero has said it is a better process because of the cleanliness that it brings into it with having that kind of roller versus having a almost carpeted sort of feel from the Tineco. I like my convenience, so the Tineco would be a little more better. I could just push the button and go. This one, it takes at least the 5 minutes to get the roller going. Try out the Hizero, see what you think. Maybe your opinion's different. If it is, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye.